What an exciting day, huh?
Yeah.
Woo! Well, you all know we came down here a while ago, you remember, and we said we're gonna get this done. Colorado's 42nd state park, over 19,000 acres, and we know it also borders some state parks on the New Mexico side, so it's contiguous. We got some wildlife areas contiguous. I think it's over what, 50 or 60,000 acres. But the state park piece, 19,000 for hiking, for biking, for camping, for hunting, for conservation. And you know what? Especially, I was just saying, you know, any of these pictures that we take, we know the year's 2020 because some of us are wearing masks. So, you know, there's no mistaking the year. But the reason that ties into what'll be our third biggest state park,
or second
largest state park, is think of all the room that people have to have fun in the great outdoors without being packed in, right? So some of the folks that might have gone to Lake Pueblo are going to want to come here. I mean, a lot of folks that were in the municipal parks. So just a lot of space where people can be safe in the vast, great outdoors. And I want to thank Senator Garcia, Senator Heisey, Representative Escar, Representative Will, Representative Holtorf for their work on shepherding this bill through a very challenging state legislative session. This is one that was cut short. They couldn't do what they normally did because of the pandemic. As if the pandemic wasn't enough, there were like rioters outside the state capitol and gunshots going on. I mean, this was a very unusual, wasn't this very unusual, Larry? This was very unusual. A very unusual session, but they got this done for Southern Colorado and for all of Colorado. Because you know what? In addition to people having fun in the great outdoors and being safe, this also is important for the economy of Southern Colorado. There's going to be a lot of visitors to this amazing state park. Just on average, every party of visitors spends about $76 in the surrounding area when they come visit a state park. And this bill, does a couple things. First of all, it's $1 million to get the park open. And you know what? We're going to be back down here probably in October or November, kicking off the opening of the state park. And then they'll get the rest of it open and some of the improvements for the spring and summer next year. But we're going to have visitors this year here. And I'm going to be one of them with my family. We're going to be down here. And this bill also, I was telling a few folks, this is the very first statutory state park. What does that mean? It means that Parks and Wildlife Commissions in the future, they can't get rid of it, even if they wanted to. It's in law. It's in law, the very first one. So this state park is locked in by statute to be a state park in perpetuity under the laws of Colorado. And what a great permanent testimony, of course, for the people of Trinidad, who are going to love and enjoy being able to access the iconic Fisher's Peak that looms above town, but also for the economy and for Coloradans everywhere, and yes, for New Mexicans too. They're welcome too. We like our New Mexican friends. And this really is a testament to what can achieve through partnership. We all know about the important partners in this work. The work to continue to open the state park and do the improvements that we need will be ongoing. I mean, this will be open in October, November. More of the improvements, of course, for the spring and for a really full summer visitation season next year. But there will be many future improvements over time. This is just going to be an iconic state park. I truly believe that this will be one of our most popular state parks. It really will be. With that, I want to turn it over to the chair of the JBC, who has done an amazing job in so many areas. And of course, Southern Colorado is grateful to her and the Senate President for finding the $1 million that we need to get this open in a very challenging budget environment. But it shows the dedication of the legislature to Southern Colorado. And that investment will produce far more in jobs and economic development than that $1 million, and it'll really give fruit to so much. I'm proud to turn it over to Representative Danae Escar.
A little shorter than you, Gov.
Good afternoon. Thank you so much for taking the time to be here today. What an amazing day. A day that some of us in the audience and even back here weren't sure we were going to get to this year. So thank you. It truly is a monumental moment to be here today. We appreciate all of the work that went into not only this piece of legislation, but the partnership and the work that went on ahead of time before the legislative session to even get this conversation started and this conversation going. It was a very tough budget year, probably one of the toughest on the records. And we still managed to make sure to prioritize Southern Colorado in a meaningful way. This isn't just about another state park. This is about an entire area of the state that sometimes gets forgotten about. And we have to make sure that we are investing in all areas of the state, but especially this area. When we're talking about drought, when we're talking about the impacts of COVID, we have to do whatever we can to make sure that we are looking out for every corner across Colorado. That's why this bill was such a simple answer, to try and find that money and find a way to get this park at least moving and started. And I couldn't be more proud to be the sponsor, along with my other sponsors, Representative Will, who's here with us today, and Senator Garcia and Senator Heisey, who could not be here today, but send their very best to everyone and wish they could be here. This is something that we will anticipate for a lot. We've anticipated for a long time, and to know that we're crossing that finish line and getting it started is such a relief and so welcome for so many people, but especially for those of you from Southern Colorado. I don't need to tell you that. I'm very excited to be a part of this. I'm excited to help with any kind of economic growth we've got here in Southern Colorado. And I think it's great when New Mexicans are driving all the way through here on their way up to Pueblo to pick up their chilies. They'll stop here and enjoy the state park. We appreciate you all being here, and thank you, Governor, for signing this into law today.
Representative Will. And you all know Representative Will worked for Parks and Wildlife for how many years?
43.
43 years.
Yeah. So this is it. Thank you. What did I forget to say was state fair too.
And the state fair.
And the state fair. You're coming to get chilies, but also at the state fair.
Which is going to happen this year. We're doing this, it's a hybrid, but we're going to get the kids in there for 4-H and do everything as safely as possible.
Thank you, Governor. You know, it's been mentioned, but this is an iconic piece of Colorado. You're right behind me over my back. Look at that. It's an iconic piece of Colorado. And I was so honored to be part of this bill, Senate Bill 003, with Heisey and Garcia and Representative Danae. I didn't want to say just Danae. So, but it was a great honor to me to be in this, and being that I was a past DOW, CPW employee. The economic development of this, you know, we're always reaching out and saying, hey, let's do something for rural Colorado. Well, here we are, and I couldn't have been more excited to get on this bill. The other part of this, I recognize the wildlife values of the country behind us, and the conservation efforts is going to be on there, and just the wildlife values alone is worth 10 times what it was paid for. Trust me. The wildlife values from today on into the future. The public access part of this is, you know, how many square miles is it? 19-20 square miles. So, you know, that's public access that wasn't accessed before for our sportsmen, hunters and fishermen, hikers. So I couldn't be more excited. This is the kind of work that I just love doing and love being at the legislature to be part of. And I want to thank, you know, the city of Trinidad and GOCO and everyone involved with it. You know, the Public Land Trust that was involved with acquiring this property, and all the efforts. I know a lot of people in the crowd here, you know, are the reason that made this happen. They might not be here at the podium speaking, but they helped make this happen. So I'd like to give all of them a round of applause for such a great deal. Thank you.
Yeah. Director of Natural Resources, Dan Gibbs. Yeah.
Thank you, everyone. Thanks so much for coming out today. This is definitely a really exciting day for the Department of Natural Resources, because 3 of these bills really have an important tie-in to the department. We recognize that these past 6 months have been really some of the most challenging times in Colorado history, and really want to thank Governor Polis and members of the General Assembly here today for their constant support on helping to make Colorado what Colorado is all about. You know, the dramatic terrain that we have, the waters that give life to our farms, and also help provide our world-class outdoor recreation opportunities, and the rich and vibrant wildlife that call Colorado home. Also proud to stand here in front of this amazing iconic landscape here that will be our newest state park. So much work has gone into this. Many meetings, and there are some times that we thought, is this actually going to happen? So thank you so much. I also want to thank our water and conservation partners today. The projects funded in the Water Projects Bill and Species Conservation Trust Fund will keep our waters cleaner, more accessible, and maintain a thriving habitat for our state's rarest and most vulnerable wildlife. Again, I want to thank Governor Polis for your leadership. It seems like yesterday I was in a meeting, you were like, let's just make this happen. We're going to make this happen. And working with all the legislators, all the partners, you know, the Trust for Public Land, Carlos from the Nature Conservancy, GOCO, county commissioners, Mayor Rico. This has all been such an amazing textbook on how you get things done. So I'm just proud to be here, and thank you so much.
Good afternoon, and welcome to Trinidad, those that of you that are not from Trinidad, and all the citizens that are here today. Thanks for being here. This is a really important day, and I wanted to thank the governor for coming down and signing this bill. He has been very persistent, and he wants to make this happen. And of course, we also have, I want to really thank Ms. Esgar, I also want to thank Mr. Crowder, Mr. Heisey, and Mr. Will for supporting this bill. I also want to thank Dan Gibbs, and who else is here? Anyway, I also want to thank all the county commissioners and the city council. City council, would you please raise your hand? Without the city councils giving the green light to move forward with this project back in 2017, it would not have happened. So they've been very supportive of this project from the beginning. And of course, we have the Trust for Public Lands, the Nature Conservancy, GOCO, and Colorado Parks and Wildlife. So this is a very important day for Trinidad as we move forward. At least we do have $1 million to begin some infrastructure projects so that we can have a small opening like the governor was saying in the fall. So we can make that happen, and then we'll just continue to move forward with the larger opening hopefully sometime next year. This is going to be an economic driver for our community, for the county, the state, so it's going to be big. And I also want to thank Jay Chimino, who along with you and I sat down that day and said, can we buy some property on Fisher's Peak? So thank you, Jay, you and I, for beginning the process, just thinking about it. But it's been a process. We do know that it's been a very difficult year for the state legislature, and with the persistence from all the state legislators to see the value of this project is really, really important, and it gives the city of Trinidad and its residents hope that the state legislature is behind the city of Trinidad and this project. So thank you for being here and supporting this project.
Great. Yeah, the other bills, this is just the park bill. Senator, you want to talk on the park bill?
You're going to come back and talk again.
We're going to talk on each one, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Do you want to talk on this one? Yeah, go for it.
Well, you know, I want to thank you for allowing us to come here and share this with you today. This is important for rural Colorado. This is something that's been in the works for quite some time, and it's a question of financing, and the JBC did a remarkable job this year. As tough as it was in the legislature, I want to make sure that you're aware of their sacrifice that they made for the state. I think that there's a lot of people to thank. The one person that has been left out is the person that sold it. Without them, we wouldn't be anywhere. But I think that's important too. I wish them well. But again, it's a great day for Southern Colorado, and thank you very much for being here.
Parks and Wildlife Commissioner?
Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Jim Hill, and the Commissioner for Colorado Parks and Wildlife. I've been on the commission for 8 years, and all of those 8 years has been as the chair of the Finance Committee. And projects like this have given us heartburn in the past. So I was really proud to carry this through the commission and got a unanimous decision to purchase the property with the help of a whole bunch of other people, including GOCO, who I don't think is represented here. But the conservation groups, it was terrific what you did to help us through this. So thank you. And I also want to say something good about the other bill, the water bill, because being an ag representative on the commission, water is so darn important, especially when you look around now and everything is burning up. So thank everybody for them bills.
Luis Lopez, Los Animas County Commissioner. Thank you all for being here today. Thank you, Governor. Thank you all our legislators. And I believe we forgot to mention another integral part, Mr. Richard Holtorf, who is our new state representative, who's took over the passing of Miss Kimmy Lewis's office. And without his help on this, we couldn't get this accomplished. I'd just like to, not to mention all the thank yous that everyone's gone out. I want to thank our communities from up high, down low. This is a perfect example of how a community, how a state, how city council, and how county commissioners can come together. You don't see that very often. It's very difficult to get these types of accomplishments done, especially in this timely of a manner. This is a great accomplishment for the state of Colorado, for the citizens of Los Animas County, the city in Trinidad. Thank you all so much.
Thank you for the state of Colorado commissioners. I'm your House District 64 representative, and I will tell you the mayor over here to my right, the commissioners behind me, and everybody else, the legislature, your governor, everybody got behind this effort for Southern Colorado. This is history, this is legacy, this is part of our Western heritage, and we're going to make it part of a permanent history in this state. On this day, it's an amazing thing. I want to thank the commissioners who worked very hard for this. You know who they are. Your mayor and town council, all of which I met up at the state capitol. Numerous phone calls and email exchanges. So this is a great thing. The state is coming together in a bipartisan way to make something magical happen right here today. Thank you very much.
Good. Are we ready to make it a state park? Yeah! All right, let's do it. Let's go for it. It's official, the newest state park. Mayor, here's one for you.
Thank you.
Perfect. Thank you, Governor.
Thank you.